Hello friends, welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be setting up the next week of November in our horizontal planners. And I've got these Girl Boss Anna overlay inks ready to go, as well as these washi tapes I may use. These zebra mild liners I'll be using for some checklists and some extra decor, and these sticker books which I'll pull from. And this is the second week of the November Plannable Challenge, and this week's theme is Oh My Gourd. So if you'd like to participate, go ahead and post your spreads up on Instagram using the hashtag PlannableNovember2022. We'd love to see what you come up with. Okay, I got a fresh new sheet of a wax paper here to get this project started. And we will break out the first set of stickers here from Finalizing using her Pumpkin Vibes sticker book. I spied these gourds and pumpkins here a while back, and I've been kind of saving them for November. Really like that they weren't super orange, that they kind of had more of a modern feel to them as far as the color scheme, so I thought they would be perfect here for November. And with the theme Oh My Gourd, I thought that was just the perfect situation to use them. I've been kind of in a creative slump lately, you guys. Really feeling like, I don't know, I don't have any fresh ideas anymore. You know what I mean? So I definitely took my time trying to think about how I wanted this spread to look and maybe to get some ideas from various sources, maybe to make this look a little bit, I don't know, fresher than some of my spreads I feel like have been lately. And for this one, I kind of went back through my old planner spreads from the last 2 or 3 years, just seeing what I had done in the past, and decided to do something that I haven't done before, but still utilizing my similar, layout styles of utilizing the spine center as a decor area. That's what we're going to do here, although I'm going to put all of the pumpkins kind of clustered at the bottom and then have some like kind of falling into the pile. I thought that was something I hadn't done before, really wanted a fresh look at this, so that's what we're going to do. I'm also taking the smaller pumpkins, putting those ones near the top, and the larger size sticker pumpkins I'm putting down towards the bottom. Or gourds, maybe I should call them gourds, because there are different styles. They're not all pumpkins. Anyway, I am trying to figure out how they might lay down here on the spread and like where they might go. Just trying to mix up the colors too, because I have a lot of white ones that are in the smaller size, so I just wanted to make sure there's a little bit of orange tone or yellow tone mixed in. It's not too monochromatic at any one area. Really wanted it to feel a little bit more mixed up. I go through a full sheet of the pumpkins I have there, and then I'm going to pull in maybe 1 or 2 more from the second sheet. In those Planning books, there's oftentimes more than 1 sheet of the same stickers, and sometimes they're reversed, sometimes they're not. But it's just nice because you can easily make a full spread with just 1 sheet. So if you really like those stickers, a lot of times you could use them again, maybe in another season or weeks down the road when you've forgotten about them and you open up the book again and you're like, yay, I still have stickers and I really like those. It's kind of how I feel about her books. I just feel like if you like something, there's plenty of it to use. There's also tons of decor. So just really good books. And she's just a small seller. She's definitely in Europe. I cannot think of the country right now. But yeah, she's not even in the United States, but she is so responsive and she makes these really cute books. So just doing a little shout out to her because I use her books a lot, especially this year. I have been nothing but thrilled with the quality and the styling of the stickers and the books that I have from her. I did decide that I wanted to bring in some more, just a little bit of cool colors, not some more, but just a touch of coolness to the spread. So I have like a gray-green tone that I was planning on bringing in, kind of pulled off of the gourds already. But then I came across this page. It has a little bit more of it's a greenish blue. It has a little bit more blue leaning than the green that I picked for this. But still, I think that it helps just kind of give a little pop of color intermixed in there in the pumpkin waterfall I have going on here. So I'm going to mix them in. I'm just going to use maybe 2 or 3 of them, and then I'll rework what I have there just so, again, the colors are balanced and everything feels even and balanced. I'm also looking through the book just to see if there's anything else I want to add in. And I already pulled in those focus boxes, as you can see there on the sides. I pulled the orange and that green-gray. Both of those came out of the Planning sticker book. I also pulled some washi tapes in those same orange and green-gray colors, along with one more that has a yellow tone. I had an idea for this to use some vertical washi as opposed to, our standard horizontal washi. But what I thought I would like, I think it looks really good together, but I kind of feel like the vertical washi really stands on its own. It doesn't seem to, I don't feel like it needs more decor, if that makes sense. Like, it becomes decor when you use it vertically. So it felt like it was competing against the pumpkins, in my opinion, just a little bit. So I will lay out the spread with what I had originally envisioned with this kind of vertical washi look. And I will layer it with a couple of focus boxes. Part of the problem that I had with it is that, yes, I think it looks good like that, but adding more than 2, getting into 3, things started to feel a little bit cluttered. And then I also just didn't feel like I had enough space to work in functionally either, because it started to dip down into areas of other days. So yeah, I go back and forth a little bit on this, but as you can see, this is a really cute technique and could totally carry a spread on its own without the pumpkins. I just felt like it was a little bit too much with both of these items together on the spread. So I'm just trying to figure out what to do here. I also have those Girl Boss Anna overlay ink tapes, and I'm thinking maybe I can try to incorporate those. But yeah, I just kept looking at it and it just wasn't feeling, I don't know, there was just too much, I felt, going on. I also felt like I needed a quote or something to pull everything together, and so I pulled out the Happy Planner, the fall sticker book that came out, I want to say 2020, maybe, that sticker book, and pulled in a quote that says "Hello Pumpkin." It was the only sticker book I had a pumpkin quote in there at all. I used my "Oh my Gourd" quote last year, so I was scrounging to find pumpkin anything as far as quotes were concerned. But I did find that one, "Hello Pumpkin Season," and I just cut out the season and made it a "Hello Pumpkin." So I'm trying some different things with the washi tape since, like I said, I wasn't really feeling the vertical mixed there with the pumpkin decor. So I started with some horizontal normal washi layering, and then kind of by chance remembered the crisscross styling of layering the washi tapes in the corners. done that a couple of times on different spreads, but it makes a little bit of a plaid feel, which I like. We'll see if that works here on this spread as well. And reworking those focus boxes and trying to work in the quote here. So I'm going to maybe trim off some of these branches that are on the quote. They're a little bit distracting, and like I said, I have a lot going on with the pumpkins already, so let's just kind of clean that up and just get to the quote itself. That pumpkin is actually in copper. There's a little bit of foiling in there. I would have preferred not to use the copper since I'm not going to add any more onto the spread, but I was kind of scrounging, like I said, for quotes, so we're going to make this work. And just going to white out behind the H there since it's a clear sticker, give it a little bit more pop off of that darker border. So one of the things that I noticed back in the day when I used to set up my planner spreads is that I had a lot of little stickers spread around the spread in whatever the color scheme is for the week. And that really just made this spread more fun. I think, well, I mean, part of the problem is that Happy Planner books really don't have a lot of decor these days, and then they have a lot of random type headers and things that don't, I don't know, they're very specific to whatever the book is, so sometimes it just doesn't match up with what I need for a normal week. So I haven't been using that as much over the years since the books kind of, I feel like the vibe of the books has really kind of morphed since the beginning. Before I really just felt like you got a really good range of large sticker, decor stickers, large quotes, good boxes, smaller quotes, smaller headers. It was just all good, and it was all in the color coordinated theme. And now, I don't know, it's just really hard to mix books, and that's just my opinion, but I'm just a little less enchanted with the Happy Planner style these days. And I think that's really come to play in some of my designs because I have all these sticker books, but I just have trouble mixing the stickers now because they're all so, I don't know, just don't go together like they used to. So anyway, I still wanted to emulate that vibe of having a lot of little kind of moments on the spread in those colors that I'm working on, you know, just little happy places all over. I'm going to try my best to do that with the sticker books I know I have, and I just picked up this Brave Teacher one like 2 months ago on clearance, and I used it recently for a health spread. Since I was familiar with it, I remembered that it had very similar colors in the orange and the green that I'll be using here on the spread today. So I went ahead and pulled that out to try to find some headers and things to match up. Again, create that more fun appeal that I used to really go to, and the Happy Planner style spreads I used to do back in the day. And we'll see if I can revive that style. I'm also going to try to pull in just some little accents with those overlay tapes in the green and the orange. Spread those around. I've also added in already a couple of circle, like watercolor frames that I can use for focus areas. Just because I didn't want to have too many boxes on the spread. It was starting to get a little bit boxy. I wanted to limit how many, areas I used for that focus style of planning. So I'm finding a few little elements that I'm able to pull in so far. I've gotten a couple of headers that I think will help jazz things up, and also just some smaller decorative items. And this book has a lot of cool colors, and I don't know, the styling is really nice in this book, but it's a teacher book, so pretty much all of the headers and things have to do with school or teaching. It's slim pickings as far as options on some of these. And I'm layering the Girl Boss Anna overlay inks with the stickers there because they're both clear stickers, and I just wanted it to pop off the page a little bit more, especially when it would overlap with one of the frames. That really helped to make them stand out from behind the borders of things. And I cut down this one that says assignment and cut it crooked, and I don't know, I just didn't like how I cut it, so I'm just putting the pieces back that I cut and making it pretty much how it was before I cut it. I had one more little focus area I wanted to bring in, but I was having trouble matching something up with it. But I did pull some washi tape in a yellow stripe that I think will work just to give that little box a bit more presence there on the spread. And I'm going to switch the positions of the orange boxes. Since this one here had the assignment header, which I thought would work better on Wednesday, which is the day I have my class, and then I'll put the other one there on Saturday. And some of these boxes I'm going to wait to move them over because I really need to make sure that the positioning of the pumpkins doesn't interfere with where I'm placing them. So I will put in anything that's far enough away that I can put it in safely, and wait to put in those other elements, like I said, until I get the pumpkins in. And we will put in the washi tape beforehand. That'll help keep the pages here together and also set me up so that I can line up the pumpkins that are near the top up against it without going over the washi tape. And I deconstructed it a little bit so that I can make sure that I got the alignment just right. And that looks good. So we'll just move over those items I mentioned that I need to wait on over to an empty sticker sheet, and we'll get started on the bottom. I'm going to white out the black lines that are touching areas where there'll be washi tape or pumpkins. And I'm going to try to roll these guys off at least for the most part. Just trying to line up the pages first so they don't move around, and then I will drop them in. I'm going to go ahead and leave the gray lines and only do the black lines, since the black lines are the ones that really show through the most. The gray melts a little bit better into the background, so that should be fine. I'm just going to flip it, try to see which ones overlap, and then do any touch-ups I need to do as I go along. I'm doing this in stages. I have one pumpkin I'm using kind of as my centering device, and that's right in the middle between two holes and right in the center of the page. So I'm using that to position it every time I pull up the wax paper. And that just keeps me on track to where I had designed it versus trying to do it by eye, because I tend to get things off when I try to do it myself like that. And here I'm going to try to do a little bit of pre-whiting out of the black areas, just so that when I lay them down, things are ready to go. It's kind of hard though because the wax paper was touching it, so a lot of times it would pick up a bit of the white that I just laid down before I had time to dry. And these last few I'm just going to freehand where I think they were on the wax paper, just get as close as possible. And I have this one here at the top that I don't actually want to overlap the washi tape, so I'll cut it down and then lay it right up against it so it looks like it's coming out of the washi. And now we'll go ahead and move over the elements I had placed to the side and get those positioned in to the spread. And I'm just going to make a little adjustment to the sky. I want to move him farther over, but the stickers have already stuck down pretty hard, so we're just going to leave them as is. And then I made some adjustments to the watercolor circle framing just because I didn't really like how things were positioned there. And then real quick I'll clean out the holes so that this is all ready to go now that I've separated the pages. I'm just going to use my precision cutter for this because the hole punch I know won't really be able to do the job since a lot of these stickers aren't covering the holes completely. They're just like pieces of clear sticker lightly overlapping the hole. So hand cutting is really the best technique in this situation. If they were fully covered with something a little bit more heavy, I would probably just go ahead and punch the whole sheet, but I think for now hand cutting is really the only option for these random areas of overlap. Okay, so we got those cleaned out. Last step here will be to add in my checklist with these zebra mild liners. I'm going to just do small dots instead of squares this time, and I'm using like a bright green and then this gray, but it's like a warm gray. Kind of matches better with the green, I think, than a blue tone. And I was almost done, but then I decided to go crazy with a little bit of extra texture, which I will pull back on after the fact because it's tended to look a little bit like like a disease when I looked at it later. So I was like, okay, we're gonna alleviate some of the coloring in this. So you will see, I think I had it fixed by the time I did the close-ups. You can kind of see just what I did to modify that. But other than that, you guys, we will be done. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Bye!